Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Rants About Tech Live. I think it's number 244. I think it's Alex. Yeah, I agree, eInk. Coffee Saint, my vote goes for Alex. I think it's number 244 today, for this January 22nd. And we got Thursday going on today. It's the day after hump day is always a hard one. The day before Friday, after hump day, Thursday's like the nothing day. The nothing phone should have come out on a Thursday. Oh, it's 2:47. Oh, what the hell? 2:47? Let's go and change that. Thank you, guys. I'm your host. We're gonna get that changed in a second. I'm your host, Rod, here, and can we see this? Sunny Philadelphia today. I think we can see this. I think we can see it. I'm here with some of my good friends in the chat. I appreciate you guys for being here. Let's get the applause going for you guys. We got Sheen here already. We got Alex here already. We got Aaron and Rob here already as well. So, and BM. Good morning to you, sir. Thanks for joining me. Today we got a few things to talk about here. I mean, some tech news, but we got some random stuff, and we got 3D printing stuff to talk about, because that's my life right now is eInk and 3D printing. But let's hit the national holidays up for the day. We got National Hot Sauce Day today. National Hot Sauce Day. I mean, I can't really do hot sauce like that. Listen, I recently went through my cabinets and pulled out all of the hot sauce that I've been collecting over the years and trying to see which ones I want and which ones I don't want. Surprise. Some hot sauce have like meat in it, meat products. I was like, I've not only been poisoning myself with the hot sauce, I've been ingesting meat products and I didn't even know it. So apparently that's a thing. So check your hot sauce if you're a vegetarian. Just because it's hot sauce doesn't mean it doesn't have, like, I don't know, anchovy paste or chicken grease. I don't know. But the point is, there's some in there. So then I went through and I tasted them. I'm like, okay, which ones do I actually like? Because some of them are just too hot. Like you get a hot sauce and it's like you can't even taste the food because your mouth is burning. To me, that's too hot. I want a little bit of, I want some bite. I don't want to die over it though. So I went through the cabinets and I threw away all the hot sauce that I ate were too hot and I just couldn't taste the food anymore. At one point in my life, they may not have been too hot, but at 49, they're too hot. Okay, they're too hot. So they're too hot, and so I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna get rid of those because I can't taste the food anymore. Then I'm gonna get rid of the ones I don't like anymore. Morning, DeRock, how's it going? Thanks for joining. I'm gonna go and get rid of the ones I don't like anymore. That just my taste has changed and I don't like them. I kept some in the cabinet for years. I don't think you should keep hot sauce for years, but I did. So, yeah, just hot sauce. National Hot Sauce Day is the day to go in your cabinet, find all the hot sauce you've crammed in there over the years, if you're like me, and just go through them and say, which ones do I like still? and get rid of those ones you don't. So I had like 8 bottles in the cabinet. Now I have 1. It's consolidation. It's a good thing. Next national holiday we got is National Southern Food Day. Just listen, I grew up in the South. Aaron is in the South right now. I can attest to the food there. Usually mild buffalo wings is as hot as I want to go, says the dollar special. Listen, I'm with you. I used to do the hot buffalo wings. I mean, let's be clear here. When I say hot buffalo wings, I typically mean just cauliflower covered in hot buffalo sauce, buffalo wing sauce. It's a good time. If you haven't tried that cauliflower dipped in, it's good. It's good. It can be good. It is good. So anyway, I don't even do that anymore. I'm using the mild everything from now on. But Southern food, let's get to Southern food. National Southern Food Day. I grew up in the South. We got eInk already chiming in. Cornbread, ham hocks, and beans. Listen, ham hocks. I grew up on ham hocks. I'm a vegetarian now, but I wasn't always. At 14 is when I made I started making my conversion at 14. The total conversion didn't happen until I was like 17. But the point is, Southern food is different. Let's just because of the national holiday day, we're gonna spend a little time. Southern food is just different, okay? Southern food originated from what people didn't want to eat. They gave to the field hands. That's where Southern food was born from. Back in those times. Like, so it was what the people who were making the money didn't want to eat. It's like, okay, they left it over and gave it to the poor people. So now they made something from that nasty stuff. They made it into some good stuff. Ham hocks, a delicacy now. It wasn't always that. Listen, I'm gonna name a few things in Southern food that if you don't know what they are, go check it out. So I grew up on boudin. If you don't know what boudin is, it's special and it's different. Boudin is different. How many? Have you ever sprecking the boudin eInk? That's different. What else we got? eInk is already throwing out the ham hocks. We got the boudin, cornbread. What else we got from the South? Gumbo. Listen, I make a mean vegetarian gumbo, so I might even think about putting me some gumbo together this week because it's National Southern Food Day. I mean, you got to make some gumbo. The nasty stuff was called rundown, all in a pot. Yeah, listen, I'm sure that's we've had a version of that here. I'm sure we had a version of that in the U.S. BM. Chicken and waffles. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Chicken and waffles. That's a great Southern food right there. Crawfish boils. Oh, shut your mouth. Crawfish boils. I remember those. You throw some crawfish. And if you don't know what crawfish are, they're like little bitty small lobsters. Throw those in a pot with some. We used to go hunting for crawfish. We would take some bacon, tie it onto the end of a string, and crawfish dig holes. They have little holes. So when you go to an area after it rains, you will know crawfish were there because there's holes everywhere that they've dug and they're living in there. You dangle that bacon in the hole on the string. They'll clamp that thing. You pull them up and just throw them in the pot. that was a pastime in the South. I remember I've talked to you guys many times about like you don't have to have food in the South. Food is just around. Like you go crawfish hunting, you find a pot of crawfish, you're good. That's the protein. Fruit grow on trees, you just go grab it. Man, growing up in the South was so fun as a kid. It was so fun. It has downsides too, but it was fun. All right, moving on from Southern food. Polka dots. This is the first. I'm going to show you guys what I thought of when I first saw polka dots. So just for those who don't know what polka dots are, let's take a look. These are polka dots right here. And the polka dot king back in the day was Kwame. How do you spell Kwame? I forgot how to spell Kwame. Oh. I think that's how you spell Kwame. Kwame was the polka dot king. So this is the first thing I thought about when I saw National Polka Dot Day. Is this guy right here from back in the 80s? He's a rapper, But his whole thing was he just wore polka dots all the time. He was the polka dot king, Kwame. He made some good music. I might go listen to some Kwame today. You should too. All right, moving on. All right, you guys. Rando stuff. What we got on the Rando poll, on the Rando list today? Aaron, whenever Aaron sees, Aaron just made it. Good morning, Aaron. Aaron, I'm sitting at. I forgot to send the Pinstar Pro out to you on Monday. I will get that out to you tomorrow, so it will be sent. It'll be in the mail tomorrow. Aaron's the only person that takes me up on the device loan program. I mean, there's only like a handful of people I trust that are in the Discord that even do that, but I'm just saying I would and do. Aaron has taken me up a couple times. eInk has a channel. I didn't even know eInk has a channel. She popped in the Discord. Her pouches that I can't wait to get. I can't wait to hold on. Matter of fact, let's show them. Let's show this pouch. If you want an opportunity to win this pouch right here, can we do this? Bam. If you want an opportunity to win this pouch right here, she's giving it to you. She's giving you the opportunity to win a pouch. And I want one. It's for the remove explicitly. I mean, so you need a remove if you care about this, but there are other things will fit in there. Other things will fit. I can't wait to get mine. I can't wait. So yeah, she's doing that. And the channel is linked in the description of the video. So if you want to subscribe and get a chance to win said pouch, you go to the description of the video, you hit that link, you go subscribe, okay? You go subscribe. I didn't even know she had a channel until she did that. So I'm gonna start checking her out and seeing what she posts. Because again, very respected in the eInk space for sure. What else we got here? I think that's all for the randos. Let's get to the tech news, you guys. Okay, what's up with the chat? No doubt, eInk, no doubt. Haven't had crawfish since the Leesville days. Nah, I haven't had crawfish since the Leesville days. Yeah, it's been a minute, man. And actually, I think the last crawfish boil I went to was about a 2-hour drive from Leesville in a city called Shreveport, Louisiana. Shreveport is a more well-known city than Leesville is, but absolutely. All right, so what else we got here? YouTube cracks down. Let's get to the tech news, you guys. YouTube is cracking down on AI slop. All right, so we talked about YouTube having a filter, right, for AI slop. Like it's just for search, though. I don't know who unearthed that, Dr. Ling or was it The Rock? But someone unearthed the fact that it was only search where they were filtering out AI slop. I'll take that. It's better than nothing. I need a little bit of coffee. I will definitely take that. But it just so turns out that the CEO of YouTube has decided to make a few announcements on his views on AI slop and his attempts to try to get rid of it. He's going to try. I don't think he'll succeed, but he's going to try. All right, let's get to the details here. And before we start this, I would literally pay. You know what? Let's do a poll. Can I start a poll here? I don't have the tools to start a poll. YouTube was acting crazy with me this morning when I started the stream, so I didn't have access to my normal chat, so I had to pull up the chat in the video, which is not optimal. It's not optimal at all, but whatever. So no poll today, but I would literally pay for YouTube to just take out all the AI slop from my feed. If it's AI generated, don't give it to me, period. If I want it, I know where to go search for it. Instagram and X. If I want AI slop, those are the places I'll go. But the point is, I'm already paying premium, right, for YouTube Premium. I would pay more of a premium just for them to just not give me AI slop. Give me an AI slop free haven on YouTube. I'll take it. I'll pay more for that. I'll pay. All right, so what do we got here? YouTube CEO Neal Mohan wants to make 2026 a year in which more creators build big, sustainable businesses. I like that. I like that idea, Neal. You've already gone in the right direction with me, buddy. In a year in which artificial intelligence enables them to do it faster. I like that idea too. Using AI as a tool, not to just generate content. I mean, not that that's bad. And there's situations where generating content is good. I just don't want to see it. That's all. Give me a choice. But in his annual letter to the YouTube community, which was published Wednesday morning, he also committed to fighting AI slop and strengthening safeguards for kids and teens, underscoring the delicate balance that the world's dominant video platform has to pursue as it seeks to grow even bigger. He says, the rise of AI has raised concerns about low-quality content, aka AI slop. I'm glad he's acknowledging that it's AI slop. Those are his words. As an open platform, we all allow for a broad range of free expression while ensuring YouTube remains a place where people feel good spending their time. I don't anymore. And that's because of the AI slop. I look at my page and I'm like, I have to look at AI slop first, scroll down, then get some content, then more AI slop, and then it's never ending. But with this openness comes a responsibility to maintain the high quality viewing experience that people want. To reduce the spread of low quality AI content, we're actively building on our established systems that have been very successful in combating spam and clickbait and reducing the spread of low quality repetitive content. That's what I want. That's what I want. So hopefully this happens. That's acknowledging the fact that there is an influx of AI slop on YouTube and that they're trying to do something about it. When the CEO has to mention it and he calls it out by name, it's becoming a problem. And I don't like it. The Rock says, how does YouTube filtering out AI slop compared to the Indie Game Awards banning Expedition 33 for using AI-generated assets? It's all great. But you know what? They should. I don't even care about the Independent Game Awards anymore. When they did that, to me, that invalidated them as a credible gaming award. They were hinging and clinging onto like legitimacy, right? They lost all of that when they did that. Because guess what just happened? We're going to talk about it in a few minutes here. We'll get to that. But yeah, so I'm really feeling this direction here. I'm liking that they're taking a proactive approach at this, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. If they do anything at all. This could be talk. Next thing we got is, what else we got? New YouTube TV tier. Now, I used to be a YouTube TV subscriber until they started asking for $1 billion a month for the service. And I'm like, why the hell would I do this now? This is more than cable was. Whatever. YouTube TV has announced plans to roll out series of new lower cost streaming packages early this year. These new cheaper YouTube TV plans represent a significant shift from the service's traditional all-in-one base package, which I think is about $90 right now, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have to add on packages of relevant content to you for more, arms and legs a month. Like you grow them, like they regenerate. They don't regenerate YouTube. Once I've given you my arm and a leg, it's gone. I don't get that back. It's like time. Okay, moving on. The core of this update involves more than 10 genre-specific packages, each designed to focus on particular categories of programming. This approach enables viewers to opt for slimmer bundles that could sustainably reduce monthly expenses compared to the current base plan, which stands at $82.99. Okay, so it's $82.99, not $90 a month. I was close. Per month, and includes over 100 channels. So basically, it feels like to me what this is going to do is, you know how you pay the base package, which is the $82 to $82.99, and then you pay for packages on that. A smaller, like you pay an extra $12 for this package, or an extra $12 for this package, and then now your base package is now over $200. But the point is, they're going to offer those smaller packages independently of the base package. That's the new thing here, because they already have little packages, but you always had to have the base package. That's going to change. While the exact pricing for the new packages hasn't been disclosed, the emphasis on making them more economical, potentially appealing to cord cutters who have been deterred by the escalating fees of comprehensive streaming services like myself. I've been disenfranchised, okay? I don't like it. Plans will include sports bundles, family and kids-friendly packages, for example. So you can think of like, instead of getting a whole Disney package, maybe it's Disney and some other family-friendly channels that they bundle together in a package and give it to you as the family-friendly package. Sports as well. So sports is going to be one of those things. They're going to bundle a bunch of sports things together for sports fans who just want that. They don't want AMC, and CBS and Fox, although they do have sports too. So I'll just stop and right there and keep reading. As for now, the launch is slated for early 2026. Details on the exact rollout date, a full list of channels per package, and precise pricing remained under wraps. For current subscribers, the transition to these new plans should be seamless. It won't be, with the option to stick with the comprehensive base package or switch to more targeted ones like the ones I just mentioned. So that's awesome. I think that's cool. I think it's very good. What do we got in the chat here? YouTube TV used to be $50 a month, and that's when I was on board. When it first came out, that's how much it was. It might have been less than that, but that's when I was on board. I'm like, you get 6 accounts or 6 profiles that you can share with family members. DVR type functionality that you can just go in back and rewatch and just pick up. I'm like, what? This is crazy. I loved it. And then they started charging $1 billion. And I was like, okay, this is nowhere near better than cable for me. So why would I keep doing this? Just give me Netflix and my premium YouTube, bro, and I'm good. It was better deal than cable. It was a better deal than cable. Yeah, it used to be. Will this cause people to go to other platforms like Odyssey? I haven't heard of Odyssey, but I'm gonna check it out. Now, I think this switch is gonna cause people to come back to YouTube TV. I know it's making me want to look at it again whenever they produce the pricing for these and the actual packages, because we don't know what those are gonna be yet. They're just talking about the fact that they're going to do it. But when that information comes out, I will pass it along to you guys. But for me, I'm waiting to see what the packages are and the pricing. They may get me back. They may, especially if they do something like, I don't know. What they should do is give you some pricing that includes YouTube Premium. You know what I mean? It's YouTube TV, for God's sakes. Give me YouTube Premium bundled in with it. I don't care if you charge me a little more. Just give me an all-comprehensive package. The Rock says that YouTube TV is seemingly its low-cost tiers, or segmenting its low-cost tiers, like how Fast Pass at a theme park or basic economy in an airline just means we're now paying extra for services that were included previously. If they, all right, I can understand that, The Rock, but if they bundle a sports package for $40 and gave you a bunch of sports-centric channels and ESPN and, NFL Game Day or something like that, you know what I mean? That would make a difference. Then I could see it being worth it. And in that way, it wouldn't be like that. But I see exactly what you're saying, and I do agree with that. And for all I know, it could be that, because again, we don't know the pricing or the packages yet. So again, you could be 100% on that, The Rock. What else we got here? Next thing we got to talk about here is going to be Apple. It's coming out with a chatbot, a Siri chatbot. You know what it's going to be called? Gemini. Like, we all know you're basing your AI on Gemini. Gemini is already a chatbot. Why don't you just offer Gemini in a Apple-centric experience? Why are we... Apple is just confusing me lately. Steve Jobs would be rolling in his grave. Not would be, is. He's done a 180 right now. Anyway, I don't understand these things. Like, just call it Gemini, Apple, and stop with the shenanigans. The Rock says, yes, but only if the basic price without bundle is significantly less than the previously bundled price. That's the point. That's the point. That's why I said I'm waiting on the price. You're exactly right. That's why I say I'm waiting on the price, because if the bundles are self-contained subscriptions, right? Then none of this matters. But add a decent price, like you said, lower than what they charge for the. Actually, I don't know if it needs to be lower than what they charge right now for the bundle. It could be the same price as they charge right now for the bundle, because remember, you wouldn't have to pay that $80 for the base package. Let me know if I'm wrong on that, The Rock. But yeah, Apple, cut the shenanigans. Call it Gemini and just leave the renaming alone, please. Just stop it. Now, someone brought up Claire Obscura earlier. I think it was The Rock. I think The Rock brought up, yep. Claire Obscura. I don't know why. I really don't know why. People hate on this, like the big companies hate on this game. I'm like, this game is kicking butt. And it just won't stop winning. it just won't stop winning. So right now, it is just beating out Elden Ring for the most Game of the Year awards ever. It just got some more awards at the New York Gaming Awards. And it's just kicking butt. And I actually decided today that I'm buying this game and going to start playing it today. I can't hold back any longer. I'm not, no more Mortal Online for me until this game gets played. Okay. No more Mortal Online for me. And I've been getting killed way more than normal anyway. So it's all good. It's all good. So I'm digging this game. I'm loving the indie vibe of it. I'm loving the story behind the company who made this game. I love the press that it gets. Just because of what it is and what it stands for. A turn-based RPG. Who would have thought, man, that you could make it this good in 2025? That's what's up. I like this. All right, and that's going to be all for the tech news today. Let's get into some not self-promoting stuff, but just some 3D print stuff I want to talk about, you guys. What else? What have we got here? So, I talked about my experiences with resin 3D printing. And one of the chat members here, The Rock, kindly put me on to exposure tests. I had heard of them. I had seen them, just forgot all about them. And I had been doing exposure tests just from my own model, right? Testing exposure from, okay, how precise is this? Do I need to scale back on the exposure? Do I need to bump the exposure up? So I've just been doing that off the fly, off my own models. But there is a better way, and that's with test models that these companies put out just to test your exposure for the particular resin that you're using on the machine that you're using it on, which I think is, I don't know why I wasn't thinking of doing that, but I'm about to start doing that. Hopefully that improves my ability to print on the Elegoo. We'll see. I'll do some tests on that. I'll let you guys know how that fared. Like I said, I don't mind coming back in here saying I was wrong about something. If it means I'm right now, I don't mind being wrong. So hopefully I am wrong about it and I can dial in the settings even more than what I have been able to. And maybe these tests would allow me to do that. I'm hoping that is the case because I want the Elegoo to work in conjunction with the Formlabs. I'm going to have, see, another thing with the Formlabs is the way that arm mixes the resin and only requires you to put the minimal amount of resin in the tank. That's going to help my project as well. So the Formlabs is going to be useful even if I dial in these settings on the Elegoo and get them doing what I need it to do. The Formlabs is still going to be useful for me printing these higher end resin, higher end engineering resins that I'm buying and trying to use. Because I realized a lot of the resins that I had been buying, matter of fact, all of the resin I had been buying, with the exception of a Siriatech. So I had been buying Next Shapes resin. I had been buying, what else I have over here? Actually, I've just been buying four different brands of resin. So Next Shape, Siriatech, Next Shape, Siriatech, Magform, and Next Shape, Siriatech, Magform, and I think that's it. No. Oh, Liqcreate. So Liqcreate is a really high-end engineering resin maker. Now, what I realized is that, again, I'm learning, you guys. I'm learning these things on the fly, and I'm going to test the exposure settings. So that's something I learned from The Rock. So thank you. I appreciate The Rock. And that article you sent me came in super handy. So I'm going to finish reading through that today. And because I've already learned a lot from it. So I'll finish reading through it today and put that into practice actually this afternoon. With this resin that I'm having a really hard time with printing. And maybe this test print will allow me to see whether it's even actually doable, right? With this particular resin. So that's going to be really telling. But what else? Oh yeah. So I realized and I put a spreadsheet together of all the resin stats. Now I didn't even know about resin stats, you guys. So again, I'm still learning. I had just been buying the resins that I thought were that I've been researching people's opinions on them, like Reddit, YouTube, people writing articles on them, but not really comparing the actual stats from the vendors because I didn't even know they published those stats as far as tensile strength, flexural strength. So all those things, they publish those things. Well, not all makers of resin publishes those things, but a lot of resin manufacturers publishes that information. So I learned that and started putting that information into a spreadsheet, which allowed me to look at all the resins that I've been wanting to buy and that I have been buying and comparing them. And what I found was I had been buying some of the weakest resin on the market. like through no fault of my own, I had just been listening to other people's opinions on it. You know what I mean? And people are like, yeah, this is tough. I did my test, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I go and I put all of the data into a spreadsheet and I realize, wow, I've been dealing with some of the weakest resin on the market. Tough by just regular standard resin standards, but still weaker than what Liqcreate offers, weaker than what Formlabs offers. And there was only one resin that I was using that was actually on par with some of the tougher and more industrial resins, right? That I should be using for this kind of project. There was only one resin that I bought. And I knew it was better because I came on the live stream after testing the resin and I put it in. Remember I put the rocks in a basket? You guys remember the rocks in the basket test? So that test is, the reason I did that test is because I had found a resin that was super tough. It was tougher than all the resin that I had been using, right? And I came on live and I talked about it and I'm like, this thing will hold all of these rocks and more, right? That was the toughest one I had bought, and that was a Soriatech resin. It was their Soriatech Blue Lava resin, the black one. And it feels like felt when you write with it when it's a solid nib, but if it's hollowed out for the ceramic, it's super strong and durable as well. So that was the strongest one that I had found, and I came on here and was like, listen, you guys, I found it. This is the one I'm going to use. I'm going to make everything with this, but I couldn't get it as precise as I wanted to with my new model. And then the resin went bad, so I had to stop testing with it because I had it out so long. So I gotta buy more of that for the solid nibs. So I'm gonna buy that one because that one feels like felt. It feels exactly like felt, and I don't know why, but I'm gonna put that in a test flight and send that out to testers and see what people feel. See how the people who help me test nibs feel about that, and if they feel the same way. See if they think it feels like felt. So, but that was the thing. So I'm still learning. I'm still evolving. But the thing is, I'm willing to admit I'm wrong and then correct that and move on to something else. So what I realized is I did have a strong resin. Everything I had bought was weak as crap up until that particular one. And I knew it was different because, like I said, I came on here and talked about it. Now, that was the best resin I had that could compare to what Formlabs offers and what Liqcreate offers. And there's a couple really high-end engineering resin makers, and it compares to what they offer as well. But that was just one resin. So, but then I found Formlabs and their resin. So Formlabs makes some of the best resins and the toughest resins on the market. And it's in a different league than anything I've been using so far, which is why I haven't shipped out any more of the crystal nibs and things like that, because I'm like, there is something that's way better than even what the best that I've been using, which is the one I came on here and talked about. There's way better than that I could be using that's stronger and I won't have any issues with 100% like confidence in, right? And that's what I want. I want to feel confident in what I'm putting out there, especially if it's something that I'm making myself and putting my stamp on. So the Formlabs is going to give me the ability to do that. Liqcreate is another company that makes resins that's going to give me the ability to do that as well, because the Liqcreate resins are high-end engineering resins as well. So I'm learning about the strengths and weaknesses of different resins and learning how to find out that information. And now I have it all in a database that I can just kind of query and say, okay, I'm looking for a resin that does this, and I have a list of resins that I can use for those purposes. So thanks again for The Rock for putting me onto that, because it opened me up to a whole bunch of other information that I didn't know about. I'm always learning, you guys. I'm always learning. And with you guys' help, that's just going to make the things that I'm doing better. And that's why I like coming on here and talking to you guys about this, because I get tons of information. Aaron mentioned the red color of the nibs. I had never considered that before he mentioned it. And I'm like, okay, well, wow, that would be interesting. And I would definitely do that. So I really like the feedback I get on here, and so thank you guys for not making me feel like a weirdo coming in here talking about 3D printing. I really appreciate it. What else we got here? Yeah, so I'm gonna just deal with two resin makers. So Liqcreate and Formlabs is probably the only two I'm gonna deal with for resins, and I think that was all I wanted to mention on that front. Oh, I bought a new 3D printer vat. Let's talk about that for a second. So this is what happened to me. So for anyone who's got 3D printing problems and 3D printer vats, I'm going to have this in the description, so I should put this up here. But there's a hoop fit vat. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with 3D printing resin tank vats. I know eInk is because she deals with these at work, but it's called the X4H. So this is the vat I just bought to replace the vat that I'm going to have to replace right now. So basically, the vat that I have now has only 60,000. Can I write this down? Pulling out the Remarkable Paper Pro, the big boy. It says update installed. I don't want to restart right now. All right, so the printer I have right now, you can use for 60,000. 60,000. I think it's layers. 60,000 layers. Okay, so that's the lifespan of a normal FEP. That's the normal lifespan of a FEP is about 60,000. 60,000 layers. Right now, I'm at 57,000 layers for my FEP. So that means I've been printing a whole hell of a lot. Okay, I mean, I didn't even realize. Now, typically, the lifespan of a FEP would last you about a year. It has not been a year for me, so that lets you know I've been grinding on this thing. And because I've been going hard on it, I didn't realize this until the other day when I was cleaning it. But let's look at this here. But I realized I had this problem here. There we go. So I realized I had that problem there. Now, those two things are scratches in the bottom of this plastic. It's like plastic, but it's I don't know what FEP stands for, but it's FEP. It's a material that allows light to shine through, but will hold a liquid inside of it, right? So that's the bottom of it right there. I had a puncture right there and a scratch right there. Both of those could have like spilt liquid and resin all into the internals of my machine if it had soaked through. So I had to purchase another one. And like I said, I was reaching this 60,000 layer limit anyway for this particular film right here. So maybe those punctures and maybe those slashes were just signs of wear, right? I'm reaching that limit, and it's physically showing me that. So, but anyway, I knew I was reaching that limit anyway, so I started researching how to replace that material or buy a new tank. Found this thing right here that allows you to change that little plastic film a lot easier than this, because as you can see here, there's screws all around this. It's 44 of them to be exact, and you have to take all of those screws out of the bottom of this FEP to change it, and then you have to tighten it and cut it to the proper length. It's a whole process. It's about 30, 40, 45 minute process. This thing that I just bought, what are we talking about here? The hoop fit that I just bought is, oh, that's not it right there. Why is that? I don't know. There we go. Okay. Basketball shooting thing. That was crazy. All right. So anyway, this is the thing I just bought here. $390. It did not cost $399. I don't know what the hell this is about. Maybe it's like you get like a billion of them or something. But anyway, I bought one of these. It's like $80, but I bought some with extra film, so it's a little bit more expensive than that. But what this does, it lets you change that film at the bottom really easily, and it has a better pouring spout here. So that's the reason I chose this one here, and it holds more resin, which I don't care about that. But I do care about that FEP being easy to change, because I don't feel like taking out 44 screws and then relying on my ability to make it tight. I don't trust myself to do that. This handles that, and the process is almost automatic. They have the FEPs are already cut to the proper size. They already have holes in them. You put them in there. You use those clamps to tighten it into place, and it tightens it perfectly from every angle. Done. I saw a dude do it on the internet in 30 seconds. I'm sorry, 90 seconds. Still, a minute and a half beats 45 minutes. And then your ability to do it right. I don't trust that. So I had to buy one. I had to buy that and replace it so I can keep 3D printing. But yeah, that was my struggle. That was my struggle there. All right, how many people did we lose? Not that many. Okay, we've been pretty consistent today. What we got in the chat here? Glad the article helped. 3D printing is arcane. Yeah, 3D printing is still, you mentioned it being the Wild West still, and it is. And there's a lot of trial and error because there are no set ways to do it yet. People are still learning how to use these tools and how to best use these tools. So I'm in that boat myself. So I'll take all the information that I can get on this topic. The Rock says, congrats to Expedition 33. AAA is in trouble. It'll be interesting when GTA 6 hits. The landscape has changed. Absolutely. Absolutely, said The Rock. Yes, but only if the basic price without the bundle is significantly less than the previous bundle price. But in the case of, I get that, The Rock. I agree with that. Question, why are we criticizing Apple for not calling their AI model Gemini when the most of these other chat models clearly use Gemini, like Adobe Firefly or Copilot? Well, it's because I fault Apple for doing that because Apple is they're a tech company. These other companies aren't in the business of, they're making tech, right? Like, all right, in the case of, let's take Microsoft. And Microsoft is an odd example, but Microsoft has a reason to use Gemini. They're not using Gemini, they're using OpenAI. But they have a financial backing in that company. So it makes sense for them, right? And they've never claimed that they're going to be making their own AI, right? And they're not, and they're not saying, hey, we're going to make our own AI called Copilot. Oh, you know what? That didn't work. And we're going to just use Gemini, but we're going to call it Copilot. Okay. I would have a problem with that, but Microsoft never did that. They came out from the get-go telling everybody, this is backed by ChatGPT. We're going to call it Copilot. It's Copilot backed by them. That's what it is. And also in the editing space, there's no one in that editing space is creating their own models, right? They're all using someone's models. So to me, that's different, Aaron. Whether it's actually different or not, I don't know, but it feels different to me. Since you are using the Manta for lab work, are you using the digest for those research notes? If you are not, what method do you use? I am not using a digest for the research notes. I don't even know how to use the digest, to be honest with you. The thing is, from all the explanations I've seen for the digest, it seems like the digest is for when you're reading a manual and you want to take notes on that manual, and then it puts those notes in a separate note for you. It keeps them together in a digest. So all your notes that you took on documentation is there. I don't use documentation like that on my eInk tablets. So when I'm reading documentation on an eInk tablet, I'm not taking notes on that particular tablet. I mean, maybe if I had one tablet, I would do that. But because I have a plethora of tablets to pick from, I choose the one that shows the images the best. I read from that, notes on the other one. So that's how I do it. Action button gets me Gemini and Mike. I like that. That's one of the best features I have on my phone. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. What else we have here, you guys? And there is no real eInk news today. I was going to make some eInk news, but it's already 11. We already reached that hour mark, you guys. We're not already reached that hour mark. We don't call it a day today. But I appreciate you guys for being here today. As always, man, I learned so much from everyone here. And it makes it fun talking about tech. So we're going to keep doing this. 10 a.m. to kind of whenever, Monday through Friday. Rants about tech, talk about tech news, talk about eInk news, talk about random stuff along the way. 3D printing stuff too. When I start the Maker channel, you guys won't have to sit through 3D printing stuff, okay? I'll be talking about more interesting tech stuff then. I'll have an outlet for that, but I have no outlet for it now, and I want to talk about it. I find the digest useless for lab type notes. The important part of lab notes are the details, and I don't want details summarized. True. And that's another reason why I'm like, my notes are always on a different device. I'm reading from something else, taking notes. And the more detailed and granular you can be with lab notes, the better. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. We got The Rock, we got BM, we got Aaron, we got the eInk, we got, who else we had today? Alex, the Dollar Special. Rob was here. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate everybody. And until tomorrow, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Peace.